arena seats, and I will get closer to one of them. They have the yellow and the red, and as you can see, that is an original seat there. And I will flip this one up, guys. Folks are allowed to sit on these chairs. Maple Leaf Gardens, also known as the Cathedral of Hockey, here on the corner of Carlton and Church Street, is a historic building here in the city of Toronto, built back in 1931 to be the home hockey arena for the hometown hockey team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. This building housed a hockey arena and was the largest arena space in Canada when it was built back in 1931. The Toronto Maple Leaf hockey team played inside of this building for 68 years and won 11 Stanley Cups. And this building has National Historic designation for Canada because of its location, as well as the architecture of this building and its rich hockey history. And Harold Ballard, who is often associated with the Maple Leaf Gardens because he was in the 1970s up until he died in 1990, he was the owner of the Maple Leaf Gardens as well as the Toronto Maple Leafs. And when he died, the estate, which included this building here, the executors of the estate did not want to sell the building. And from 1999 until 2010, this building sat vacant because the owners of the building did not want this historic building to be turned into an arena. The Toronto Maple Leafs were going to have their home arena at the Air Canada Centre on Bay Street, and the owners did not want this building to be in competition with the Air Canada Centre. And there are a number of artifacts from the original Maple Leaf Gardens still in this building. This building is now a grocery store on the main floor and an athletic arena. And one of the original artifacts here in the Maple Leaf Gardens are these original seats on the wall there, 12 by 12. These are the original Maple Leaf Garden seats that were turned into a maple leaf along the wall. And when they were changing this arena into what it is now, they exposed the eastern side of the building and fixed the original Maple Leaf Arena windows. But those Maple Leaf garden seats saw a lot of hockey games. In fact, Elvis Presley held his only concert here in Maple Leaf Gardens back in 1957. The only concert he had outside of the US, and the Beatles performed inside of the Maple Leaf Gardens 3 times. So this wasn't only used as a hockey arena, it was used for sporting events, concerts. Even Winston Churchill gave a speech inside of this building. And here is some information about the past here and about the restoration of these windows and the exposed brick of the original building. And Harold Ballard, who owned this building up until his death, actually resided in a suite on the northeast side of this building. Right in this section here where I am now, Harold Ballard had his own apartment after his wife passed away, and there is the original brickwork of the Maple Leaf Gardens. As I head downstairs, where in honor of the historic value of this building, the developers put a marking on where center ice would have been on the main floor here when it was a hockey arena. So I will take you over to what would have been known as center ice. And a lot of the history of the Maple Leaf Gardens is in this sitting area as well. There are pictures of events that took place in here. That would have been the Ice Capades, I do believe. And I was here a couple of times to see the Ice Capades, which was an icing event. There you have Elvis Stoikel wearing a Leafs jersey. And there are more pictures on the tables here. Some of the concerts from artists who were here. There is a picture of Elvis Presley performing. Sting and even Madonna performed inside of the Maple Leaf Gardens along with the Beatles. And there is the newspaper from the day, the Toronto Daily Star. I think that was announcing that Elvis was playing here, and all of the stoked fans. As I make my way over to center ice at one time here inside this historic building in downtown Toronto. Let's make our way over there. And the Toronto Maple Leafs played in here for 68 years, 11 Stanley Cups. And a lot of people would say Harold Ballard cursed the Maple Leafs once he owned the hockey team as well as the building. But that is a story for another day. And in aisle number 25 is center ice indication of this building's rich history, the Maple Leaf Gardens. And it says the place upon which you stand served as Canada's center stage for nearly 7 decades. Right here in aisle 25 is where the puck would have been dropped on center ice when this used to be a hockey arena. And there is some more information regarding center ice. And along the wall inside of the main floor of this building is an original mural from the days when this building was the Cathedral of Hockey, and I will make my way over there as well. And the mural is alongside the original arena seats that the developers kept, and folks can sit on them. Let's have a look at this original mural here of the Toronto Maple Leafs holding up the Stanley Cup. That's not something we've seen in decades. Oh, how we are salivating for another Stanley Cup here in Toronto. But along this wall in front of the mural are also some of the original arena seats, and I will get closer to one of them. They have the yellow and the red, and as you can see, that is an original seat there. And I will flip this one up, guys. Folks are allowed to sit on these chairs and have a coffee from the coffee shop that is just behind me here. And there are some yellow seats there as well, all along this wall. And again, some moments from the history of the gardens on the tables. You will not see any pictures of Harold Ballard, though. There is a coffee shop right here. And the TMU Athletic Center is to the right of this grocery store, and I will walk back out and show you that as well. And when the new owners received this building, they had to build floors inside of this old arena, and the planning and development of this new design won them many awards. So I will head back out to Carlton Street and have a look inside of the TMU athletic building. And the marquee outside was restored, and in the evening the Maple Leaf Gardens does light up blue, the color of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The original brickwork on this building and the restored windows here facing Carlton Street. Here is the sign stating that this building is the historic site and monument, proclaiming the Maple Leaf Gardens as a National Historic Building. And I will head inside here to the athletic center that is run by the University of TMU University. Inside of this building are a number of photographs showing the old Maple Leaf Gardens. This picture here is from 1931, and there is the construction of the Maple Leaf Gardens, built and opened in the same year. There is an aerial view of the gardens from 1932. Another old picture of what this area looked like back in 1934. The crowd erupting when we won the last Stanley Cup the Toronto Maple Leafs ever won in 1967. Look at those two. And there is the old bricks from the original building and the old windows here. Muhammad Ali and George Chuvalo when they fought against each other back in 1966 here inside of the Maple Leaf Gardens. And I will head upstairs to the second floor of this athletic center where they have a hockey, ice rink, fitness room. There are some more of the original seats from the Maple Leaf Gardens on that wall there. And there is a fitness room to my right. And I will make my way to the western side of the Maple Leaf Gardens building. And there you see them up close, the original arena seats. Hanging from the wall. They have a basketball, volleyball court in there. Still no pictures of Harold Ballard, who some say cursed the Leafs. And some more old photos here of the different sporting events that took place inside of this building. And those seats bring back a lot of memories. I came here quite often when I was younger, when tickets were actually affordable. It's just incredible, those seats still attached to the wall there. Let's see if we can make our way up to the third floor here in the athletic building. And that's what the Maple Leaf Gardens look like in 2009. Let's get on the elevator and head up, guys. Heading up to the third floor, where I do believe they have an ice rink. And I've never actually seen the ice rink, so this will be my first time here on the third floor. Never been here before. Some more photographs. Folks lining up outside of the Maple Leaf Gardens in 1965. There is a picture of the Beatles. Some of the musical artists that played here back in the day. Jimi Hendrix, and I do believe when Jimi Hendrix was in Toronto, he did get arrested. And that night he did perform inside of Maple Leaf Gardens the same day that he had been arrested. 1969. There's a photo of Elvis Presley. And when he performed in Toronto, he's wearing his gold lame suit. Definitely a different time, guys, because that gentleman is smoking. So at one time you were allowed to smoke inside of Maple Leaf Gardens. That was back in 1940. Okay, let's have a look at this arena here. Here are some more artifacts. A time capsule. Conn Smith, the founder and owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs, secretly buried a time capsule in a cornerstone when the Maple Leaf Gardens was built back in 1931. The capsule would remain buried for 80 years until its accidental discovery by a construction worker during the building renovations in 2011. The capsule was housed in a copper box The capsule held mementos from the time, including newspapers, official hockey rulebooks, a stock perspective from Maple Leaf Gardens, a red flag, an ivory carved elephant, and a 4-page letter detailing the design and construction of the arena. And there is the white elephant from the time capsule. The mysterious white elephant. And behind there it says Smith's Secrets Revealed. And there is an old hockey jersey. Incredible. What is this? So let's go have a look at this arena where they have a full-length hockey rink up here. And I have heard that the Toronto Maple Leafs do come and train in here, and the public is allowed to skate on this rink, and I do believe teams rent out this space to train as well. Let's look out this window. Facing south on Carlton Street. What is up there? I'm a nosy little bugger, guys. I'm a nosy little bugger. I'm gonna go upstairs and see what's up there. (1942) the Stanley Cup. (1999) Toronto Maple Leaf players line up along the blue line during the opening ceremonies for the last home game of the Gardens. That window is so small. So this is a higher view of the hockey arena here. Make my way over to the western side of this iconic building here on the corner of Carlton and Church, the Cathedral of Hockey. There's Trudeau in 1972. And that was Trudeau actually speaking to the crowd outside on Carlton Street. Looking down on Carlton. And back to where it all began, the construction of this iconic Cathedral of Hockey back in 1931. Such a rich and complicated history of the Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens.